This is not the usual video of me smoking uh, or just chatting. I wanted to do something different today and to talk a little bit about an important thing for me and for other people. Uh, just to put you in the environment, I want to tell you a little bit about me and about my history. Uh, when I was a kid and I was in primary school and secondary school as well, uh, I was one of that kids that they call gift kids, which I think is a horrible name. That means I was very good in all matters, except on sports, of course. And that means that I was rejected by my classmates, because they thought that I was always studying, and that was not true. In fact, I never had to study so much, and that's why they call this a gift. But believe me, it's not a gift, it's probably the opposite. So I was heavily bullied in the school many times, and it's not like today. Today, when somebody is bullied in the school, there are procedures, there are options for the fathers, for the kids, for the parents, for the teachers, for the kids. They feel that they have to do something about bullying. But when I was a kid, it was 40 years ago. And at that time, it was bullying, it was considered something normal in the school. I remember my dad, when I would arrive crying at home, saying that people is always saying bad things about me, people don't want to play with me, people is beating me, people is hurting me, or people is taking me the money for lunch or whatever. They said, oh, you have to beat them harder, you have to defend yourself, you need to learn, you know. And well, I don't want to speak about bullying, because I think it's very personal, and everything, and everybody probably has a different case or a different experience about this. But I want to speak about self-acceptance, which is something different, and I want to explain to you why achieving the self-acceptance is very hard sometimes. The remains of that bullying in the school and in the secondary school, in my mind, is that I suffer of anxiety, and I suffer of anxiety and sometimes depression, and I take medication for anxiety and for depression, because I'm not one of those very optimistic people that think, oh, if I have anxiety, I can fight it against it myself. I'm not going to take medication because I'm stronger than anxiety. No, in my case, I think anxiety is something that you have to live with it, and you have to make something, to turn it into something domestic. You know, it's like turning a wild cat into a domestic cat, but it's still being a cat. And cat sometimes tries to scratch you, even if they are domestic cats. That's anxiety, you know. Well, at the end, all this has a serious effect on me about uh, my self-acceptance. So I spent many years of my life looking, and it happens to me sometimes, still happening, some days, looking at myself on the mirror and say, oh my god, you are horrible, you are ugly, you are, you will never do something in your life, etc., etc. Because the expectations when I was a teenager, the expectations of my parents, the expectations of my teachers, the expectations of everybody were there. It's like I was like a genius who has a very brilliant career in front of me, and probably I will win a Nobel Prize or something like this. Of course, here I am. So we all find the social acceptance, and sometimes we all try, or we have been trying, and I have been doing this for many times, for many years, sorry, trying to be normal. But you know, being normal is crap. Because being normal is not being yourself. Being normal, in the sense of normal as common, is first being boring, and second, and the most important, being not yourself, but what the others wants you to be. So the others tells you in some ways what you have to do, how you have to act, what you have to wear, where you have to go, what you have to read, what you have to buy, what you have to watch, what kind of fun you can have, where you have to go for holidays, what kind of partner you should have. And at the end, maybe you will find that you are living a life which is not yours, which is not anymore in your hands, which is in the hands of other people. And why this happens? Why we are desperate looking for social acceptance? Because we don't have self-acceptance. Because this is the key, this is the point. The point is, you know, there is a song of Michael Jackson talking about this, like saying this man in the mirror. It's like, if you want to change the world, start changing yourself. Like I'm talking with a man in the mirror. That means I'm talking to myself. So this is something that is very, very hard to do, because self-acceptance is nothing that you achieve with a click like this. Self-acceptance is a lifetime road, because everybody change, and I'm not the same person that I was 10 years ago, and of course I'm not the same person that I was 20 or 30 years ago or 40 years ago. No. And all these changes, your body changes, your face changes, but your brain changes as well, and you have to accept all this, and you have to say to yourself, okay, there are things that I cannot change and things that I can change. what of this image I see in the mirror I want to change, inside and outside, and what is possible to be changed. And probably if you ask yourself all these questions, you will discover that there are a lot of things that you can do and you are not doing. I say this because I found a lot of leather and fetish guys who, okay, to be honest and to talk clearly, who are ashamed to be leather and fetish guys. But it's what they are. They can't deny this. And they are constantly fighting against this, or trying to hide this, or saying, yes, okay, I like leather, but only in private. I like leather, but nobody can see me with leather jeans outside, because what the others are going, it's like, if I tell to the people, if I express myself, if I decide to be myself, at the end, I'm going to lose the social acceptance. And this is what I want to have. You know, at this point of my life, and excuse me for my language, I don't give a fucking shit about social acceptance. The only people that I want to be accepted for are my friends and my partner, and nothing else. For the rest, I don't mind. And why? Why is this? Because I have been fighting against this as well, and I was been thinking so many times, oh, I'm not a real guy. Because, you know, I'm not the prototype, I'm not the model, I'm not the typical muscle build, handsome and nice leather guy. And, well, you know, this is a stereotype as well. And probably you think, oh, I want to be like that guy with big muscles, a lot of tattoos, a lot of a wardrobe full of leather, and handsome as hell. But you ever wonder if this guy is really happy? Because sometimes, maybe, what is happening is that they are looking for social acceptance. And this happens on the social media as well. Because the social media at the end are social forums where things happens like always happen in social forums, but 1,000 times faster. So you see, when you see people desperate asking for, please follow me, please give me a like, I'm going to publish a new picture of me, please give me likes, I want more likes. This is desperation for social acceptance. That means that probably they are not so happy with themselves. So think about it. Think about you. Think about the things who makes yourself you. Think about what defines you as a person. And think about the way you express this. And there is a lot of things that you can change in your life. And talking with the man on the mirror is probably the hardest thing, the hardest thing you can do, but at the same time is the best thing you can ever do. So just try. Just I'm not going to give you solutions. I'm just going to put some questions to you. It's up to you to find the right answer, because the right answer is different for everybody. You know, when somebody, or some of that people who gives conference about happiness or something is, I know the secret of happiness. I always think, yes, you know the secret of happiness. The secret of happiness for you is getting a lot of money trying to convince the others in your conference and with your books what's the secret of happiness. You know. So there is not a magical formula or something about happiness. And it's impossible to be happy every day. It's something that I have learned. We all have bad days. I have my bad days, and if you follow me here or in Facebook, probably you saw some of my bad days when I publish something so depressing or something, because that happens and that's part of the life. But you know what I have learned? I can have a bad day, but I'm not able to have a bad life. So when I have a bad day, I can be very sad, but I know the next day is going to be better, and it's always better. So that's what I wanted to say. So I'm sorry for the long video, but it's something that I wanted to say. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen, and wish you a nice weekend, and see you soon online.